it's Steph. Thanks for clicking. This is my intro for the 7th round of Throwback 30. Jessica Lee created this Fantastic Ladies project. It starts today on July 28th and it ends next year on July 28th. And I think this is the coolest project the Fantastic Ladies do, because what it does is it takes 30 of the projects and combines them into one. So that way, if you missed out on a project because it happened before you were a Fantastic Lady, or if it was something that you did and didn't get to meet all your goals on, you get a second chance of trying it out, and you get to taste all the projects that you just didn't have time for before. As it has for the last several years, the Fantastic Ladies group has voted in the 30 projects that are in this project. We're going to start at the top of the alphabetical list. I am bringing in all 30 products at the intro. You are kind of intended to do that, but you don't have to if you don't want to. If you want to do this as a rolling style, you can do that too. As it happens, the first project on that alphabetical list is 12 Days of Christmas. This, of course, was a Christmas themed project, and it was based on the song of the same name. Each of the 12 lines of the song is a prompt, and you were to pick something to go with each line. I randomized one, and I got 6 geese a-laying. And this is the largest stretch of any product in this project, so if you can bear with me through this one, you'll be able to get the rest of them fine. When I picture geese, I think of Canada geese, and they are everywhere. I live in the US and they are called Canada geese, but they are major pests here. They tend to congregate in populated areas because they can scavenge for food and sometimes people feed them. But their poop ends up everywhere. In some cases, they are throwing off the natural ecosystem because they are competing with food for ducks and fish. So that becomes an issue. So we don't necessarily like Canada geese here. So I picked something that is Canadian, kind of. This is the MAC Hyper Real Skin Canvas Balm. It is a sample of it. MAC was originally a Canadian brand, but it got bought and is now owned by a US conglomerate. And also the colors of this are kind of reminiscent of a Canada goose. So that is my largest stretch here. This is what I'm gonna bring in for 12 Days of Christmas for 6 geese a-laying. The next project on that list is Four Seasons. This is a project that is a year-long project, but it is based around the 4 seasons. So as each season changes, you change the products that are in the project in order to match the season. So I randomized a season and I got spring. This is the La Roche-Posay Anthelos Light Fluid Sunscreen. It's an SPF 50 tinted sunscreen, except it's expired. So the sunscreen doesn't actually work, but I'm going to use this up anyway. And I promise that not everything in here is a mini, but this one still is. But my goal is going to be to finish this for the 4 seasons, because spring is when I would use a product like this. I go for lighter coverage foundations once we hit spring, and the added benefit of SPF, if it still worked, would be something that would appeal to me in that season. The next one on the list is 50 Shades of Black, and that is, of course, this year's version of 50 Shades. I am participating in that project, but I did find a 51st black item for this prompt. This is my Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Liquid Liner. It is a mini, and I have used it before. My goal is going to be to finish this for this project, which should be fine. I really do like this eyeliner, and we'll see if I manage to do that in a year. Next is 50 Shades of Brown, so of course I have something brown. This is the Natasha Denona High Glam Concealer in the shade N2. My goal is going to be to finish it. It is really hard to tell because you can't really see through it and it doesn't settle, but that's where I think it is. And I have been using this for about a year and a half. So this lasts a long time and I do really like it, but my goal is to finish it for this project. 50 Shades of Green is something green. This is my Nature Lab Repair shampoo. The shampoo itself is green. My goal is going to be to finish what is in here. I do have a refill. Half of that refill is actually in this bottle, but my goal for this project is just to finish what is in here and not what's remaining in the refill. Next, of course, is 50 Shades of Pink, which is the original. So I found something pink. And I brought in my Coastal Scents Stylized Eyeshadow Sampler. Tiny Pans actually did not make the cut this year. So this has been my Tiny Pans product for the last 2 years in this project, but I couldn't pass up the opportunity to bring it in here because I just have that much left of that shadow. So my goal for 50 Shades of Pink in here is going to be to finish that, and then this will actually be a finished palette, and it would be the smallest palette I have ever panned, but I still want to do it anyway. And there is 50 Shades of Purple, and I have something purple, of course. This is a nail polish. It's actually all the way down there. I do not know what brand this is. This came in a gift set at some point in my distant past, and whatever brand name there was on the outer packaging. The outer packaging was thrown away a long time ago and I do not remember. But this is the last one I own from that set. So I really do want to finish it. It is the oldest nail polish that I own, and so that'll be what I'll be doing in this project. And then there is 50 Shades of Yellow and Gold. This is the last 50 Shades project that is going in here, and I actually picked a gold item. This is a Cynthia Rowley eyeliner. It does not have a shade name, but it is in fact gold and sparkly. My goal is to use it 15 times for this project. The next one on the list is 7 Deadly Pans, and that project was based on the 7 Deadly Sins. I randomized one of the sins and I got Envy, and I went with Green with Envy. So this is the Exa High Fidelity Color Corrector in the shade Green. I'm going to be using this 30 times for this project. I tried to look into bringing in something other than something green for Envy because that was really the only thing I could think of. Evidently, Envy is also represented by broken mirrors, if that helps anybody, but I actually don't have any palettes with broken mirrors in them, so that didn't work in my case. The next one is Ancient Mythos. This is a project that's going on this year and I am participating in it. So I randomized one of the prompts that I hadn't gotten yet and I got Achilles. I was actually kind of disappointed to get that one because whenever you look at prompts for projects, sometimes there are some that jump out at you and you go, oh, I know what I'm going to do for that. And I had that when I got Achilles. And the thing is, Achilles is something that is a product from a category that is your Achilles heel, which makes sense. So something that is your weakness. In my case, my weakness is minis. I am a sucker for gifts with purchase, and so I knew that that's what I had to pick, was a mini that I got as a gift with purchase. So I did, but I would really rather have put this into the main project so I could keep it rolling a bit faster. But it's coming into here anyway. This is the DHC Velvet Skin Coat Makeup Primer. I got this as a gift with purchase, and my goal is going to be to finish it. Another Pan Bites the Dust is another project that's newer this year and is ongoing, though I decided to skip that one, which made me kind of sad because I do really like Queen. It is a Queen themed project. All the prompts are different Queen songs. So I randomized one and I got Bohemian Rhapsody. And Bohemian Rhapsody is something that takes a long time to finish, like that song. So I decided to pick the NYX Glitter Primer. Primers take a long time to finish. And it kind of looks like it's right here, but that's deceptive. I know there's air in here, but I don't know how much. My goal is going to be to finish this, so we'll see if I can do that or not. That does kind of depend on how much air is really in this product, so we will find out that mystery together. The next project is also new this year, and it is ongoing. It's the Beauty and the Beast Project Pan. I'm participating in that one too. I randomized one of the prompts, and I got Belle. Belle is something different in your collection. This is my Nailtopia Orange Nail Treatment. It is a nail treatment, and it is my only nail treatment. So I'm bringing this in for Belle because it's unique, and my goal is going to be to finish it. The next one is Beauty A to Z. In this project, you are to pan a product for each letter of the alphabet. I randomized a letter of the alphabet, and guys, I got Q. I own just a couple of products that have Q in the name. I used my inventory sheet to help find them. I have an eyeshadow called Quartz, but that's in another project. I have a cream eyeshadow called White Quartz. That's in another project. I have a quad that has the word quartet in the name. That's in another project. And that left me with just one item with a Q as the first letter in the name of the product that is not already in a project. And that is this Voesh Petty in a Box in the scent Lemon Quench. So Quench is my Q, and I'm going to bring this in with a goal to finish. It's a single-use item. I didn't really want that many single-use and samples in this project, but that's kind of how it worked out for me. But I will finish this for Q. The next project is Birthstone Beauty. This one has each of the birthstones for each month, and you would pick something that goes with each of them. This project made it into Throwback 30 last year, and I picked my birthstone then, which was Amethyst. I have a February birthday. And I wanted to get something different this year, so I randomized a different stone. And I got Diamond, which is for April. And so for that, I'm bringing in my Bath & Body Works Moonlight Path Diamond Shimmer Mist. So Diamond is in the name of this. I'm going to use this 30 times. I have never used this because I've been hoarding it. Moonlight Path is my favorite Bath & Body Works scent, so I didn't want to use it because I didn't want to be without it. Even though it's one of their signature ones, so I think you can still get it at any time as of right now because they continue to offer that one, but I will use this 30 times. The next one is Budget Beauty, which is for panning inexpensive items. I picked this sample of the Cetaphil Moisturizing Cream. If you were to convert this to a dollar value for this half-ounce size, this would be 46 cents. So that is pretty inexpensive, and I will be finishing this. I don't know if I'm going to use it as a moisturizer or as a hand lotion or exactly what I'm going to do with it, but I'll make it gone. Then we have Child of the 80s, which is a prompt-based project themed around the 80s. I randomized one and I got Mullet. Mullet is a favorite hair product. I picked this sample of the Way Detox shampoo. My goal is going to be to finish this, of course. I do really like this shampoo. I've used a couple of these samples before, and now I'm going to use this one up too. The next one is Color Pan. Color Pan is for panning ColourPop products. And for the third year in a row, I'm going to be bringing in the ColourPop Cherish Pressed Powder Palette with a goal to use it 30 times. This is still the only ColourPop product I own, so I don't really have many options here. So here it is again. We're going to get another 30 uses out of it. Then we have the Disney Princess Project. Each of the Disney princesses was listed with 2 colors that you could choose from for them. I randomized my princess and I got Ariel. Her colors are teal and purple. I decided to go with purple because I have more purple than teal. This is the shade Nani from my Lilo & Stitch Ohana palette. My goal is to use it 15 times for Ariel. Happy Hour is themed around adult beverages. I randomized one of the prompts and I got the prompt Happy Hour, which is something that you got on sale. That was actually kind of tricky to try to figure out, but I did get this Tree Hut Moisturizing Shave Oil in Ocean Glow on sale. My goal is going to be to finish it. I'll mark it, but it's right there right now, so I will use it the rest of the way for Happy Hour. And this is actually also the only shave oil I own, so I'm not really in a hurry. I'm just going to use it when I need it. The next one is I Heart the 90s, which was based around the 90s. I was born in the late 80s. I don't remember the 80s, I was too little, but I do remember the 90s, and the prompt that I randomized was Beanie Babies, which is something that reminds you of your favorite Beanie Baby. And I remember watching this project while it was running, and people had a difficult time with this prompt because they didn't know what their favorite Beanie Baby was. How do you not know what your favorite Beanie Baby was? I remember mine. It was Fleece the Lamb. I will have a picture of her on the screen. I got both Fleece and another Beanie Baby on my 10th birthday as a gift from my grandparents, and I liked Fleece better of the 2 of them. I think it's the texture. She actually is made with 2 different fabrics. Her like coat part of her that is meant to be woolly is a thicker fabric, and so I think that's what I liked about her. But I really liked that Beanie Baby a whole lot, and so I picked something for her. The Halle Fluffy G Foamy Glazy Hair Gloss. This is a sample I got as a gift with purchase, but because I liked how she seemed to be fluffy, this is what I'm equating to Fleece the Lamb, and I will be finishing this. The next project is Panning Cats and Dogs, which is themed around pets, and I am so excited because I randomized my prompt and I got Best of Breed, which is tell us about your pet. And that means an introduction is in order. This is Linus. He is a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel. He's 10 years old. I have had him since he was 9 weeks old. He enjoys ear scratches and giving kisses and playing with squeaky toys. If you have anything you would like to say to Linus, he cannot read, but I will read any comments you have for him to him. Whenever people meet Linus, one of the things that they comment on is how adorable they think his eyebrows are. So for Linus, I am going to be bringing in the Brow Bar Brow Definer in the shade Cinnamon Spice, and I'm going to see if I can finish this. I don't know if I'm going to pull that off or not. I have a different brow product in 50 Shades, and I'm going to prioritize that one. So I don't know if I'll be able to finish both of them in a year, but I'm going to try. The next project is Lip Service, which is for panning lip products of any type. I'm bringing in a lip crayon. This is my Peri Pera Perry's tint in the shade Fruity Orange. That is all that is left. Yeah, I have to duct tape that in order to get it to stay on. But that is what's left. I'm going to try to finish it. It's rolled all the way up. That shouldn't take me too long. We'll see how I do. The next project is Nightmare Before Christmas, and this one you were to pick products that were either Halloween or Christmas related in some way. I went with Christmas this time. These are some nail stickers from some made in China brand that isn't really identified, but they are Christmassy. There's like reindeer and presents and trees, and my goal is going to be to finish this sheet. We're following that up with a different nightmare. This nightmare is on Panning Street. I randomized one of the prompts and I got A Nightmare on Elm Street. So that is something that you need to cut into in order to use. This is a Spongile in the scent Peace Lychee Ice. And my goal is going to be to finish this. These plastic wraps, I tend to have to actually cut them. I will try to use my nails to force them off, but it doesn't seem to work very well because they're just tough enough to be resistant to that. So I will have to use either scissors or a knife to get into this. Same Pan last year is themed around holidays, and I randomized one of them and got Latin Heritage Month. That prompt is represented by something from a Hispanic-owned brand, and I picked this hair conditioner from the Nuco. Just the conditioner. I do have the matching shampoo, but that's actually not going to be in this project. For the purposes of the project, I want to finish the conditioner, so we'll see how long that takes me. That 70s pan is themed around the 70s. I randomized one of the prompts and I got the Jeffersons. I have never seen the Jeffersons. The 70s were before my time, but I do know that it was a TV show that was about a black family, which is why the Jeffersons is represented by a black-owned makeup brand. This is my Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb Heat in the shade Lemon Lava. Yes, I did have this in Ancient Mythos, but I met my goal, so now it's coming into this project for 30 uses. The next one is the complement to budget beauty, and that of course is That's Expensive, which is for panning things that are expensive. This is my Lancome Tinty Doll Ultra Wear Foundation. It's the most expensive foundation I own, and it is all the way down there right now, but I am going to finish it for this project. Then we had That's So 2000s, which is themed around the naughty decade. I randomized the prompt Bratz dolls. I never had a Bratz doll. I was, I think, like 11 or 12 when they were released, so I wasn't really interested in them at that point in time, but I do know what they were. The prompt is something that exaggerates your features because they had impossibly large eyes, really little mouths, like no nose, their head was disproportionately large to their body, so something that exaggerates your features. This is the Lancome Base Day Mascara, a sample of it, so it's a lash primer, and I'm going to finish it for Bratz dolls. Turn and Burn is a project for samples or single-use items, things that you get through quickly. I'm bringing in a sample. This is the Olaplex No. 8 Bond Intense Moisture Mask. I am going to be finishing this for Turn and Burn. And then last is Zodiac Panner. This is a project that was themed around the Greek zodiac. Each of the 12 signs had one or more colors associated with them. And this is the one that I did not randomize, because 2 years ago I did my sun sign, which is Pisces. Last year I did my moon sign, which is Sagittarius. That leaves my rising sign, doesn't it? So we're back into my Lilo & Stitch Ohana palette. My rising sign is Gemini, which is yellow, so I'm going to be using this shade called Paradise 15 times. So there's my intro. It's more samples than I intended, and I wasn't able to work in a blush, which I really wanted to do. But that's okay. I will be working on these 30 items throughout the year. Wish me luck, good luck with your projects, and I will see you next month. Bye.